Guys, I finally retook the Pottermore Sorting Hat quiz. I don't know if I've mentioned it in the past, but I was actually pretty scared about retaking that quiz. Not sure why, I just knew that I had a lot of anxiety about the quiz in general. Like, I didn't want to go anywhere near videos about people taking the quiz again or anything like that. And I didn't want people to ask me what house I got sorted in the second time round. Because here's the thing, I took that quiz the first time around back when it first came out. I think it was like 2009, 2010. So I would have been around 16 or 17. And I remember actually getting the early entry thing before the site even opened. I asked my friend Emily over at Oh My Plot. I remember asking her to help me find the quill or something. There was like a puzzle or a riddle or something that you had to solve so you could enter the site before everyone else could. And I got sorted into Gryffindor. I would have been about 16 or 17 at the time, and I am now 22, well, turning 23, and I've always been pretty content about being a Gryffindor. I'm not sure why, but it was never something I complained about. Like, I didn't mind being a Gryffindor. I think I saw a tweet or a Tumblr post or something, and it was a very Gryffindor thing to say. Like, it was very boastful, and is that a word? Boast? It had something to do with like bravery being a choice or something like that. And I don't know, I just kind of really like that because I am not the most outgoing person. And so I like to think of myself as being someone who does push herself, because that's what I wanted to be at that time. And I still kind of do. Like, I do want to try and kind of step out of my shell a lot more. And I think I've done that with this journalism degree alone. I think I've had to do a lot of talking to strangers and just embarrassing myself around campus for this degree. But for the past 7 years, my best friend has always thought that I was more of a Hufflepuff. And I'm not sure if it's due to my stubbornness of wanting to hold on to something that I know, or the fact that deep down I kind of felt like I was a Hufflepuff that's made me nervous to take the quiz the second time round. So anyway, I took the quiz last weekend, I think during Easter, and I got sorted into Hufflepuff. So I guess my friend was right after all. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I'm still kind of like processing it all because, you know, for the past 7 years I always thought that I was a Gryffindor, and I think that's made me feel a lot more confident than I truly am. I'm not saying that Hufflepuffs aren't confident, I'm just saying that the traits of Gryffindor, reading traits of Gryffindor it's almost like a placebo type thing. It's like, yeah, Gryffindors are supposed to be confident and brave, so I should be confident and brave. I don't know if that's making any sense. That's not like a dig to like the other houses not being brave or anything. I'm just saying that that's what I thought. But like, it's not that I don't want to be in Hufflepuff, because I think for the past few years especially, I've kind of slightly identified with Hufflepuffs a lot more. So does that mean that I have changed as a person? It's almost like I'm having an identity crisis here, because I don't know how I'm supposed to feel or act, because I was so familiar with being a Gryffindor that now I'm just like, who am I? I'm clearly thinking way too much into this. You know what, let's look at some Hufflepuff traits and see if I identify with any of them. So, right off the bat, the Hufflepuff element is Earth. And earthbending from Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of my favorite powers. When it comes to traits, the first two are dedication and hardworking, Not sure if I can identify with that because I'm not a very like determined person. I'm also not very competitive. Like every time someone wants to compete with me in something, I'm just like, you know what, don't, just I can't be bothered. Like I give up way too easily when it comes to things. Loyalty is one of my like most important thing to look for in people. I just, you know, loyalty is very, very important to me. So I guess that's a good thing. On the weekend, like I do with everything else, I did quite an obsessive amount of research on the house and like the people in it and all that stuff. And what I came up with was, I didn't know that Tonks was a Hufflepuff, so that's cool. John Green, I recently found out, was a Hufflepuff. Oh, one thing that people seem to forget, and I am one of them, is the fact that Cedric Diggory was a Hufflepuff and he was actually chosen to represent Hogwarts in the Triwizard Tournament. So that's pretty cool. And I mean, if you've seen the Hufflepuff Imagine Common Room online, it does look very, very cozy, and it's also underground. I don't know if it's like underground or if it's just like, you know, hidden away. Also, it's right next to the kitchen, so I guess I will never run out of coffee. I kind of really want to buy the beanies now, because my sister just got a Ravenclaw beanie for her birthday from her friend because she's in Ravenclaw. Now I really, really want the Hufflepuff one. Anyway, let me know what house you're in down below. And if you're in Hufflepuff, also let me know, because then we can chat and talk and have cake.